Here is a quiz review for the quiz in Algebra 2 that covers sections 1.1 to 1.4. I'm going to go through 3 problems with you that are similar to what would show up on your quiz, so you can give a chance yourself to practice and see if you're ready to take this quiz. First problem is going to be an evaluate question. So the directions will say evaluate. These are the ones that you think of as your plug and chub type problems. Your expression is xy minus 3 over x plus 5. It is not something you're solving. There is no equal sign. And you will be told that x equals a half, y equals 8, and again the directions are just evaluate. So you want to plug in your values for x and y and figure out what you get. When you plug in the 1/2, you're going to put it here. 1/2 for x, you're also going to put an 8 here, so it's 1/2 times 8 minus 3 divided by, you're putting the half here, a half. And then don't forget about the plus 5. It has to be tacked on to the end. So first thing I want to do is take half of 8, or half times 8, that is 4. Minus, here's the common mistake, 3 divided by a half. Dividing by a half is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So 3 divided by a half is the same as saying 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 5. Now we're just going to go across. 4 minus 6 is negative 2, plus 5 equals 3. So my answer when I am done evaluating is 3. What I'm looking for on the quiz is that you show your work what you plugged in, and then you have the correct final answer. The second problem that we're going to look at is going to be one where you're rewriting an equation. So you will be given an equation. So we're going to go with one that is w equals 1/2 pi p. You be an equation, you might know what it stands for, it might be just a random equation, and you're going to be asked to solve for p. So in this case, it's currently solved for w because it's what's by itself. When it's solved for p, what it means is get p by itself. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the half and the pi. I'm going to start off with the half. The way I get rid of fractions being multiplied is I multiply by its reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That will get rid of the half, and you're left with 2w equals pi times p. Now I need to get rid of the pi. It's currently being multiplied, so the opposite would be to divide it. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. So we get 2w divided by pi equals, the pi's cancel, p, and you are done. You have isolated p. You have solved the equation for p. The third problem we're going to do is an area problem where you're going to have to solve. We're going to look at 2 rectangles. And what we are going to be told about the rectangles is that the areas are equal. Even if it does not look like it, you want to believe that what it's being said is that the areas are equal. And then you're going to be given some dimensions. So my first rectangle has dimensions of 3 by x plus 5, that's the length and the width. And the second one is 6 and x minus 3. Since we know the areas are equal, first we're going to find the areas, which is length times width, so it's going to be this one times this one. So 3 times x plus 5. That gives me the area of this first rectangle. This rectangle over here, the area would be length times width, 6 times x minus 3. And since we're told they're equal, we're going to put an equal sign between them. We know that when you take length times width of each one, you get the same thing. To solve, we're going to distribute. So we get 3x plus 15 equals 6x minus 18. Get x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I'm also going to add 18 to both sides to try to get all the numbers on the left. So I get 33 equals 3x. Divide by 3, you get x equals 11. If the problem just says find x, you would be done. If the problem says give the dimensions, if you have to know the dimensions, then you need to go back in here and plug in 11s. If that's the case, when you plug in 11 here, you get that this rectangle is 16 by 3, because 11 plus 5 is 16. And this rectangle is 11 minus 3 is 8, 8 by 6. So you have to read the problem and see, do they just want x? If they just want x, you're done when you get here. If they want the dimensions or the actual area, you have to plug it back in. These 3 problems should be a big help on your first quiz.